And that's where it basically started, because like the following weekend, I obliterated my brains into the universe because we did a thing called rocket fuel. So I
Right.
had a friend back then, Michael, and he came up to me. He's like, Ash, come on, let's make some rocket fuel. And I'm like, what the hell is rocket fuel? I mean, it
Yeah.
sounds
Sounds
bad.
good.
No, so basically, like I started drinking at the age of 13 and never stopped,
Yeah.
literally.
Just never stop.
I mean, so you've got this crazy guy that's just moved to a country where you could literally buy alcohol everywhere. And then I just found a career or a job where the crazier you are, the more you drink, the more accepted you are.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, this is cool. I mean, I kind of enjoyed cooking because I just had a talent for it somehow. And it was very normal to go out for drinks after every shift. So I was thinking about it and talked to my girlfriend and everything. And one day it just hit me like a rock in the face. I'm like, I want to help other guys that were in the same place I was, you know? And he asked me why. And I said, because when I got out of rehab, I would have loved to have had the now me in front of me to support me.
Hey guys, welcome back to After Hours, episode 81, season 4. And this week I've got someone on who I seriously want you to look up the moment this episode's over. Ashley Baker is a qualified addiction counsellor and sober coach based in Stuttgart, Germany. He's covered in tattoos, he listens to death metal, he has his face and his hands tattooed, and he is 17 years sober. What I love about Ash is that he's doing this completely his way. No AA, no labels, no white collar sobriety, no preaching, just lived experience and the kind of energy that means people who rock up expecting someone in a suit and tie are going to get the shock of their lives. Ash grew up in Dubai before it was trendy. Had his first drink, rocket fuel, mixed spirits, and 1.5 litre water bottle at 13 on the 31st floor of the Hyatt Regency Hotel. Fell into the pool, and the school bus applauded him on the Monday morning as a hero. He moved to Germany at 17, became a chef, discovered you could buy alcohol in supermarkets at 16, and thought he'd died and gone to heaven. And then 31 hit. This is a great one, guys. Two old rockers having an honest conversation about the thing that nearly finished both of them off. Listen for the similarities, not the differences. Here comes Ashley. See you at the end.
Me better or differently?
It's fine, yeah. I mean that's actually really good. It's fine. I mean, it's a MacBook, so the MacBook camera is pretty good anyway.
It is, yeah. But I mean, the iPhone 4K would be better, yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean, to be honest, the majority of my listeners are still listening on audio. They're not really watching yet. Hopefully that will come in the future, but yeah. People are weird. Do you know what I mean? I mean, the thing is, when I know we've started, but when I listen to podcasts, I do it at work when I'm gardening. So I've only got it my ear. If I have to set aside like an hour to watch a podcast, I've got too much time on my hands, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
So I'll cut that bit out because obviously I want people to watch. So we'll
it's like no one watched this podcast.
Nobody watch it because I don't watch it. Yeah. Ashley, mate, how are you today? And tell the listeners and watchers where you're at, mate. Where are you in the world?
Well, thanks for having me. Firstly, I mean, I'm really looking forward to our talk, and I've been looking forward to it the whole week. I'm based in Germany. That's where I live at the moment. I was born in the UK, but actually never lived there. I grew up in the UAE and moved to Germany with my stepfather and my mum. Yeah. So
cool. Yeah. And whereabouts in Germany are you?
In Stuttgart. That's the south of Germany. That's where Mercedes and Porsche are made.
Yeah. Nice, man. And I'm not even going to ask you about the weather today because that's what I normally do in the podcast, and I'm sure it's much nicer than it is over here. Although the sun is shining,
it is here as well, but it was rainy the whole day. So
we've had horrible weather. But so what I'm going to ask you first of all, what would you say was the biggest misconception people have about you?
The biggest misconception is that when people see me, like with my tattoos, my rocker style and all that stuff, and the first thing they usually do if they meet me for the first time is either offering me a drink or drugs or both. Literally.
Yeah, yeah, and it's mad, isn't it? How like people do have this kind of like we say don't judge a book by its cover, and
Definitely.
I really try not to, but I think it's just
Yeah.
an inbuilt kind of I don't know what people would think of me. I do have tattoos, but not as many as you.
Yeah.
But it is weird. We have this built-in kind of almost like, oh, that person fits into that category, that person
Yeah.
fits into that category, that person wears glasses and they're wearing a suit, they must be geeky or whatever, but you don't know what's
Yes.
underneath, you don't know what's inside.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
and I assume, well, when did you get your first tattoo? What age?
When I was 18, actually, like I
Oh,
turned
okay.
18 and I got it on that day, literally.
You're a good boy, Ashley. I got my first one. I grew up in Glasgow, and I got me and my friends went and got our first tattoos at 14. Now, obviously,
Oh,
that's massive.
wow.
That's massively illegal. But this guy, what was his name? I think it was Johnny's Tattoo, rough little part of
Yeah.
Glasgow, and you'd go in and you just get it done. And yeah, I got a cannabis leaf tattooed in my arm, which is. I mean,
Okay.
I've had it covered up now, but when I was 14, I was like, yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm always going to smoke weed. I'm
Yeah.
going to be. Do you know what I mean? It's like, what an absolute imbecile I was.
Yeah,
That's
but
on me
honestly,
forever.
I would have kept it. I wouldn't have covered it up because that's a
It was,
memory, you know?
yeah, but it was a rubbish one. It was really
Okay.
rubbish. There is a tiny
Yeah.
little fleck on one of the leaves
Yeah.
that they didn't cover over when they did the cover up. So it's
Okay.
still,
Yeah.
in my mind, it's still there. And I always point that out. It's getting really faded now because we're talking, what, 32
Yeah.
years ago. So Ashley, tell us about your childhood and what it was like growing up in UAE and Stuttgart. Because UAE is quite, is it
It's quite
restricted
different. Yeah.
country? It's quite, yeah.
It is. It is. Well, I mean, like part of my whole story, how it ended, like being a massive addict, basically
Yeah,
started during my childhood. And I mean, I'll get to it why that all happened because, like,
sure.
back in the days, that was in the 80s. I'm 48 now.
Hmm.
So we literally moved to Dubai in 1978. I was born in 77.
Wow.
Um,
You got in
so I,
there quickly before it became trendy.
exactly, I
Like
made it trendy.
when it was still desert. You know those side by
Yeah,
side pictures that show
exactly.
you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
know both sides of Dubai, definitely.
Yeah. Wow.
So I grew up then. I mean, it was kind of like a very secure and safe place because it was very
Yeah.
tiny at the time, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean, I went to quite a decent school. I went to Lebanese school, which was a great thing because I learned Arabic and French there. So
Wow.
I grew up like with four languages, which is a great thing. I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And life was good there. I mean, as a kid, life was good because there's lots to do. The weather's good. It's just too hot sometimes. But everyone's either doing sports or drinking.
Mhm.
But we'll get to the drinking part later because there's not much. There
Well,
wasn't much.
it's a bit of an adventure as well. Like I grew up, I grew up in Scotland, but when I was 12, we moved to Greece with my stepfather and my mother and my brother.
Oh, okay.
So I was only there for 2 or 3 years, but it was
Yeah,
very similar to what you're talking about. It was really hot. We were in
yeah,
an international school, so there was lots of kids from Arabic countries. There was
yeah,
Arabic being taught in different classes. Obviously, I didn't learn that, but I learned my Greek is rubbish, but I was learning that, and I was learning German. I'm not multilingual like I'm sure you are, but it was an adventure. At that age, it was like, oh, nobody else is doing this at my
yeah,
age.
yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah,
And it's quite a cool thing. I mean, I find it very cool when children live in different countries because you just experience different religions, different
yeah,
lifestyles. It really opens your mind a lot.
absolutely. Like when I came back, and it was just certain things that we would brought home, like different food, cultural references, and things like that,
Yeah,
and it opens your mind a little bit more,
yes,
because everybody else that's still at home, they're still there, and it gave me a bit of a I guess it gave me a bit of a bug to not travel as much, but not stay in the one place. Not
yeah,
stagnate. But yeah, sorry, carry on.
yeah.
Actually,
No, no, all good, all good. I mean, that's the interesting part about this talk. I mean, you've got a story to tell as well.
this is
um,
yeah, exactly, and that's it. It's just a conversation, isn't it? So yeah,
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 exactly, exactly. So it's
yeah.
all good. Yeah. So like I said, so I left that school, and my mum sent me to an English private school,
Hmm.
which wasn't as chill anymore because you actually had to like do the work, and English private schools back in the day were very strict.
Yeah. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
did you have to wear uniform, like
Yes, definitely. Yeah,
shorts
yeah.
and cap maybe?
Yeah,
No?
that was the least of all problems.
Yeah, yeah, because the teachers, and I don't know if it's the same now, but I'm pretty sure. I mean, teachers in public schools as well, they
Yeah.
were sadists. Do you know what I mean? I think you
Yes.
had to
Yes.
fill out some kind of statistical form
Yeah.
and like do a test on you, rather than the other way. It was like, are
Yeah.
you going to be mean to children? Right, you're perfect
Yes.
for this job.
Of
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
I mean, if you did that nowadays, you'd end up in jail,
Oh,
literally.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
These people are all they're out of work now because,
Yeah.
they're probably doing other nefarious things. But that was it.
Yeah.
It seemed to be in the 80s and especially 90s and before that teachers were just absolute monsters. Yeah.
They were. I mean, not
Yeah.
all of them, but a
No,
lot
no.
of them, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Especially
Yeah.
headmasters and headmistresses. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my dad left us. My parents got divorced when I was around 4 years old. So I grew up with my mum alone in the UAE, which was quite tough for her. I mean, just like the hindsight now, looking back, it was very difficult for her.
Yeah.
Dubai wasn't as open as it is nowadays. So
And
being
especially
there,
not for women.
yes,
And was she,
exactly.
sorry, was she English or German?
English,
She's
yeah,
English. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
So it
that's
was
got to be
very,
tough.
very tough. It was very rough on
Yeah.
her. Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah.
Did she never have any aspirations to come home then to England, or was it just because she'd lived there for some amount of time that she was like, this is now
Exactly,
my home? Yeah,
exactly.
I'm
And
going to
she
deal
didn't
with
want
it.
to pull me out of school. I mean, she was a
Yeah,
teacher back in the day, so she was teaching at the first school I went to, and she wanted me to have a decent education, which I definitely
yeah,
did. So
yeah,
I mean, she sacrificed a lot for me, but it was also
yeah.
very rough on her. I mean, I didn't know that back then as a child, but
No,
I mean, I owe my mum a lot, definitely. Yeah.
they do. They make massive sacrifices for us,
Yes.
and yeah, and I'm guessing she was obviously one of the good teachers when she was a teacher as well, not one of the
Yeah.
monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
No.
what age were you at this point? So you stayed in the UAE till what age? Sorry.
Till I was about 17. Yeah.
Oh right, okay. So yeah, so well, let's
I
backtrack because I'm
literally grew up
sure.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
did you have your first kind of alcoholic drink or substances?
Uh, well, I had
And I,
my first cigarette and my first drink when I was 13.
13, yeah, yeah. And I mean, the thing is, I always say that, but I mean, people have like sips of beer from their dad or whatever, or
Yeah,
their mum's wine, but like the
yeah,
first session, and it sounded like that was probably a bit of a starting session because you're having a cigarette as well, and they go hand in
yeah,
hand, don't they? That's
yeah.
the
They
thing.
do, they do,
Yeah,
they do.
yeah,
I mean, the thing I don't understand about smoking. I mean, I still smoke, but
mm.
the first cigarette is like the most disgusting thing on the planet. But you just want to be cool because everyone, like all the cool kids, are doing it as well. So all your idols at school and all the cool kids are doing it. So you
Yeah,
force yourself to get addicted to it.
yeah, yeah.
It's
Well,
insane.
I
It's crazy.
do you know what? I was reading a book this week called "The Tipping Point" by Malcolm Gladwell. I know it's an
Yeah,
old book, but it was interesting. It's talking about cigarette smoking and how teenagers, because you're not, most adults, they're not like 20 or 25 or 30 and then
yeah,
start smoking. It's definitely a teenage thing.
yes,
But I enjoyed my cigarette from the off. Do
yeah,
you know what I mean? My first
yeah,
cigarette, and I was like, right, here we go. I always thought to myself, me and my cronies that started smoking at the same time, we'd be like, right, we're going to smoke until your birthday, and then we're going to quit.
yeah,
And then it was like, then the next birthday, and then it was Christmas, and then it was like,
yeah,
we're just
yeah,
smoking now. I mean, I quit a while back now, but yeah,
yeah,
that's the toughest one because I think, obviously alcohol is addictive, but you can, but
yeah,
people aren't just waking up in the morning, having a cigarette, going to work, having one on your morning break. If you were doing that with drinking,
yeah.
the repercussions would be,
Of course.
phenomenal. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
exactly,
it's
exactly. Yeah,
it's almost as dangerous for you, if not worse than. I think if you were drinking on the same level as people smoke, like hardened
oh,
smokers,
yeah,
like 20 a day, 40 a day, then yeah, the alcoholic ramifications are going to be tenfold. But
yeah. That,
yeah,
that that would destroy you, literally. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, literally.
at
Well,
some
when
point,
at the
I
end,
was.
I was like that,
Yeah,
and it was destroying me. Um,
yeah.
but like, so how was that first session for you? How was that? Was that with your buddies? Was it,
Yeah, we were actually at school, so we smuggled in some booze that we stole from our parents. Because, like in Dubai, you couldn't just go somewhere and buy booze. I mean, you had to have a
Yeah,
special license. Like as
yeah,
you only got it as a non-Muslim, and you had like alcohol shops or booze shops, and you'd actually only buy alcohol. So it wasn't very easy to get access to it. But
Yeah,
you know, if there's a will, there's a way.
absolutely.
So
And I'm sure, like, obviously a 13-year-old, like we in Scotland, like 14, 15, when I started having a bit of stubble and things like that, we could go in, not nowadays, but back then it was easier. But I'm sure in Dubai, you're not a 13-year-old walking into, the booze shop
exactly, yeah,
and buying
exactly.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
we just like nicked some stuff from our parents, and we nicked some cigarettes as well. And we had I think it was a beer I had, and
Hmm.
Foster's. Yeah, it was a Foster's, because Foster's was a big brand in Dubai. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And I had a Silcut menthol that I stole from my mum.
yeah, yeah.
And yeah, and that's where it basically started, because like the following weekend I obliterated my brains into the universe, because we did a thing called rocket fuel. So I had
Right.
a friend back then, Michael, and he came up to me. He's like, "Ash, come on, let's make some rocket fuel." And I'm like, "What the hell is rocket fuel?" I mean, it
Yeah.
sounds
Sounds
bad.
good. Well, it sounds bad, but also good. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it was basically everything you could find, like high percentage like spirits, mixed into one Masafi bottle, which was like Evian or Volvic back in the days, like because we only drank bottles out of water in Dubai. Only
Yeah,
water out of bottles in Dubai.
yeah,
So
yeah.
we filled like a 1.5 liter or 1 liter bottle with like everything we found: gin, tequila, vodka, which, I mean, you name it, it was in there, you know?
So
So
in Aberdeen, Ashley, sorry to just butt in, but
yeah,
we if it was someone's birthday, we would get them a dirty pint.
yeah,
Now that was literally go along the optics with the pint glass until it was
yeah.
full, and then maybe put a bit of black currant in the top,
Oh,
and they'd have
wow.
to like down it or whatever.
Yeah,
And it was
exactly,
like
exactly.
nobody would finish it. I mean, I think a few
Yeah,
mentalists finished it, but like
yeah,
it was rocket fuel. Yeah, absolutely,
yeah.
rocket fuel.
Rocket
Yeah,
fuel, yeah,
rocket
literally.
fuel or a dirty pint. So yeah.
Yeah.
So just to be clear, you've had a can of Foster's, just the one the previous week with a silk cut menthol, and then the following
Yeah.
week you're having rocket fuel with everything
Yeah.
under
No,
the
no, no.
sun.
It was literally the same week on the weekend.
Oh, is that we?
Like
Oh, right,
literally.
right. Okay, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got a
So, so,
taste
so
for
so
it.
we had like a rooftop party, because Michael, that friend back in the days, lived at the Hyatt Regency with his parents.
Hmm.
So on the 31st floor, that was like the famous pool on the 31st floor of the Hyatt Regency in Dubai. We had a party, and like I was always the guy that was dared to do something, because I was like everyone at school knew like I was a rebel. I was rebelling against the system. Everything I'm told not to do, I'm going to do,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, yeah.
So people would come up with stupid ideas, and they wouldn't do it, but they'd kind of like get me to do it, you know?
Mhm.
So the same thing happened with the rocket fuel. They're like, "Come on, why don't you just down it?" And I'm like, "I can't bloody down a 1.5 liters of that stuff." I mean,
Yeah,
but you know, I was 13, so I said, I mean,
yeah.
I don't know what's the worst thing that could happen.
And
So
you've got a reputation to protect, Ashley.
yes,
So
exactly, exactly.
yeah,
I'm like, okay, so they dared me to do it. I was still, I mean, I was just getting into rock and metal and Alice Cooper and Anthrax and all that stuff.
yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I mean, that is like the rock image I want as a 13-year-old, definitely, you
Absolutely,
know?
absolutely.
So
Yeah.
what I did was I downed half the bottle, literally.
And had you
And
had any drinks up until this point of that evening, or was this like
no,
just your? No, this was your first opening
that was
gambit.
my first drink, yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Wow.
mean, I don't remember exactly. I mean, it's a long time ago,
Yeah.
but I do remember I kind of just stood up. Everyone was like, "Oh my God, he actually did it," you know?
Yeah.
And Michael, my other friend, downed the other half of the bottle, because he thought, well, if he can do it, so can I.
Yeah. Yeah.
And literally, I just remember like getting up. I think I fell into the pool, and
Yeah.
that's it. I don't remember anything. It was like a complete blackout.
So, did you? Has anybody told you? Like, obviously, they maybe got you out the pool. Did
Yeah.
you enjoy the rest of the night, but in blackout, or were you passed out, or were you? You didn't have to go to hospital or anything like that.
No, I was literally passed out, and they were all afraid I was going to
Yeah.
die.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they called my mum. So my mum came and picked me up, and she told me the story the next day after she beat the shit out of me, like literally.
Yeah.
She told me the next day that like she was like literally carrying me, like dragging me along. We
Yeah.
went into a lift, and the lifts in the Hyatt Regency were like all gold and marble and mirrors everywhere, like really fancy. And there were two Emiratis in the lift as well. and I
Mhm.
just bloody vomited
Oh, no,
all
no,
over
no,
the
no.
whole floor. I mean, that must have been so embarrassing for her.
Yeah, yeah. Well, she's having a hard time anyway, and suddenly she's in, the Regency Hyatt, and then the Hyatt Regency, and then she's with two, Emiratis,
Yeah,
and then our 13-year-old son is spewing his ringer in there. Oh my god! Now
yeah,
that episode, you would think for, let's call them normies or whatever, most
yeah,
people would be put off by alcohol for
definitely.
not just life, but maybe a long time. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
What? How did it affect you?
Well, funnily enough, the next day, I mean, I felt horrible.
Yeah,
I literally felt horrible. So I didn't have to go to school, but I still felt horrible on Monday when I had to go to school. I was still drunk, and I mean, I didn't know back then, but I was literally still drunk and
yeah, yeah,
hungover.
yeah.
So I remember getting on the school bus and like everyone applauded me like I'm some kind of hero. Like, yeah, Ash, yeah, you did it. Amazing. You did this, you did that. And I was like, yeah, you see, I'm cool. I'm cool. So that coolness factor became even bigger because now I was like
Yeah,
the coolest guy at school, you know?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
That's it. And sorry, how was Michael? Did he obviously he was the kind of second rung, so he didn't
yeah,
get the same hero status as you.
no.
Um, but
Well, his dad never officially allowed us to see each other ever again.
oh wow, so
Yeah,
you were this is the thing. You know what? Like, I'm glad you said that, Ashley, because there's lots of friends, and my mum does listen to this podcast.
yeah,
There's lots of friends that I've had over the years where my mum has said, "Oh, I'm not sure if you should hang about with them because
yeah,
they're a bad influence and all that." It was me that was the bad influence, but in this case, Michael was the one that brought the rocket fuel. Michael was
exactly.
the one that egged you on to
Yeah,
drip down it. So
yeah,
yeah, but obviously he's maybe told his dad, or his dad thinks, no, Ashley's a bad sort. We can't
yeah,
have you
yeah,
hanging about with him. Yeah. Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
And I
Yeah.
mean, I literally apologized to his dad. I called his mom. I called his dad. I went there in person, and they're like, "Thank you very much for your apology, but we don't accept it." And literally, the friendship is over. I mean, we still met. We still hung out. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, of
you
course. Well,
can't
you're at
stop
school
people.
together. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and he'd say, "I'm going out with other friends," and we'd meet up somewhere else. So when his parents were gone, I'd sneak into their place.
yeah.
So I mean, nothing really changed, but yeah,
No, but like obviously you're not allowed round there for, I don't know, sleepover or come for dinner.
exactly.
So did they actually live in the Regency Hyatt Regency?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
did because one part was a hotel and the
Yeah.
other side was like Hyatt Regency residences because his dad
Ah,
was actually the general manager of the hotel.
right, right. That makes sense.
So
Yeah,
that's what
yeah,
really pissed him off that we had a party on the 31st floor and I
yeah.
got completely smashed and his son was also like completely whacked out, you know?
Yeah, but then you were the one that vomited in the lift in front of Emirati,
Yeah,
so it's like,
yeah,
yeah, we've got to make an example of Ashley.
yeah.
So yeah, so how long after that did you then have another drink?
Well, I remember my stepfather back in the days. He
Hmm.
got me up the next morning and he was like, so how was it for you? How are you feeling? I feel like shit. Just leave me alone. He's like, no, no, get up. Come on, have some breakfast. We're going on a trip today. And I didn't understand it back in the days. I'm like, this guy is evil. Like, what is
Yeah,
wrong with him?
why
And I
is he not
actually had
letting me fester? Yeah,
yeah, and I actually had a really good relationship with him.
yeah,
So, like the next weekend or 2 weekends, I don't remember. He told me, "So have you had enough of drinking?" And I'm like, "No, I'm a man. I'm 13, and I'm a man. I mean, I want to have another drink." He's like, "You know what? We don't want you to do this secretly, or I don't want you to do it secretly. I
yeah.
don't want you to smoke behind my back, and I don't want you to drink behind my back. So from now on." Please smoke in front of me, and I'm going to
Mhm.
take you to a bar so we can have a drink together.
Wow.
And and I was like, okay, that sounds cool. So we went to this bar called Sheriff's
Hmm.
back in the day in Dubai. I mean, if there's anyone listening that remembers Dubai in the 80s, Sheriff's was like the thing to go to, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I
Wow.
remember going there with him, and he's like, "What do you want to have?" And I remember that I picked up a White Russian somewhere. Like someone was talking about White Russians, and it's fancy and it's cool. I think I saw it on TV as well. And I
Well, the
said,
Big
"Well,
Lebowski, but would the Big Lebowski have been out then? I don't think it was.
no, no,
Yeah,
no."
yeah, but
But
yeah,
White Russian was a thing
yeah.
somehow,
Of
you know.
course. Well,
So
yeah, yeah. Lovely thing. Well, it was a lovely thing. Yeah.
yeah, it was, yeah. So he said, "Okay, I mean, that's not the thing I'd start with, but I mean, if you want to, go ahead." So he had his whatever he had. I
Yeah.
remember having a White Russian, and I just downed it, you know. And he literally looked at me. He's like, now I understand why you nearly died 2 weeks ago. He said,
Yeah,
you're supposed to enjoy a drink, not just down it. I mean, it's a cocktail. You don't
yeah,
just down it.
yeah. And what
And I was
so
like, yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
I was going to say, like, what was your kind of thought process on the downing of it? Did you think that's what you were meant to do,
Yes,
or
yes,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, because you'd done
And,
this
and
with
I,
the
exactly.
rocket
And I
fuel?
just wanted to show him
Yeah.
I'm cool. I mean, I can keep up with you and everything. So he's like, okay, do you want another one? And I said, yeah. So I got another one, and same, same, same. So I think I had 5 or 6 White Russians, and he used to drink
Wow.
this thing called Underberg or Unberg, or it's like some kind of like small bottle wrapped in paper. It's very bitter, and it's more like a medicinal kind
Angus
of
Dairy Bitters. Yeah.
something or Underberg or some kind of bitter
There's probably a
thing. Yeah,
different one. I mean, we call it Angus Dairy, but it's like
yeah,
you only put a fraction of that in a
yeah,
drink to give it a kind of
yeah,
flavor. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So I had like a small bottle of that, and then like literally I stood up and I just like collapsed literally. And yeah, so that was
What do you
my
think he was?
second
What?
night out.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask, what were your parents' kind of drinking habits like? Were they big drinkers or not really? And what do you think he was trying to kind of teach you or kind of do with that? Do you think he was just trying to be like the cool stepdad that kind of allows you
No.
to drink,
Well,
but
well, he was a
also,
very cool stepdad. I mean, he
yeah,
didn't need to.
yeah,
I mean, like looking back, he was the I mean, he's my dad actually, because I call him
yeah,
my
yeah,
father.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
but for me, he's like the person I looked up to the most in life. Clever guy. He always knew he had a solution for everything. Like a really,
hmm,
really cool guy. And he
yeah,
told me the lesson he wanted to teach me is firstly how to drink properly, not to start downing cocktails like a maniac. And
hmm,
his main goal was to kind of put me off alcohol by doing that.
yeah, yeah. And did that work?
No,
No, no. I mean,
obviously not.
you've just done five White Russian shots, and downed them like, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so where did it kind of go from there? What were your kind of teen years like?
Well, I mean, it just carried on because in Dubai, like I said, like at a certain point in life, like we were 14, 15, we started listening to rock and metal. The other guys were listening to like indie, like the Wonder Stuff, the Stone Roses. So we were always
Yeah,
like this
yeah.
rivalry, the metalheads and the,
Mods and the rockers, kind of. Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah. But we'd still like all meet up for parties and everything. And of course, booze were the main thing because there was nothing else to do in Dubai. It was like either you're a
yeah,
sports fanatic or you become an alcoholic, literally back in the
yeah,
days. There was nothing
yeah,
else to do.
yeah.
So
And
we kept
especially
on
when you're
meeting up.
allowed it in like your
Yeah,
special compounds or whatever, you've got your
exactly.
license to get alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So we
yeah.
were literally drinking every weekend. And I
Hmm.
was also like drinking. My mum always had like a small bar with she used to love sherry and brandy.
Mm,
So,
hmm.
so I used to get up at night while everyone was sleeping, listen to my cassettes on the cassette recorder, and start sipping her sherry and her brandy because I thought, I mean, I can't listen to all this music and just sit around and do nothing. I've got to do something. I mean, I could maybe eat something or just do nothing. But I decided, like, if I drank, it kind of gave me a buzz,
Yeah,
and
of
I
course,
felt
it's the
the
best way
music.
to listen to music. Well, it was for me back in the day. If I
Yeah,
was listening to rock music or dance music or whatever, I needed some type of substance that went with that. And for
yeah,
kind of listening to Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Guns N' Roses, all of that, it
yeah,
was it was hard liquor, it's hard alcohol for me. That was
yeah,
it.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And
So
did sorry, yeah, go on. Go on.
no, so basically, like, I started drinking at the age of 13 and never
Mhm.
stopped.
Yeah,
Literally.
just
Yeah,
never stopped. Yeah, and what was your schooling like? Were you good at school? You'd done private school, and well, you're still in your
yeah,
private school there. Were you good at your classes and sticking in with that? Because mine, the reason I ask is, when I started doing, alcohol and then weed and then other stuff,
yeah,
my schooling definitely did take a slide.
yeah.
Yeah.
Same, 100% the same. I mean, teachers told my parents that we had these parent teacher evenings and
Yeah.
everything, and they always told her the same thing. You've got a highly intelligent son that's wasting all his energy on I don't know, whatever he's doing. I mean, they didn't know it was alcohol.
Hmm.
And I mean, they noticed a shift because I used to be quite good at school, and suddenly I just like crashed,
Yeah.
literally, you know.
Yeah.
And teachers were worried, and I was a big rebel, but I was a rebel because I didn't know back then. Like, I had like this father wound basically because my dad left us when we were 4.
Hmm.
My mom tried to commit suicide when I was 3 and when I was 4 years old as well.
Yeah.
And I just remembered that a few years back because my subconscious kind of like pushed everything down. So when I was doing like this inner child work and trauma work and a bit of Reiki,
Hmm.
it all came back up. So it like surfaced again. And
Yeah.
I wasn't surprised that I was a rebel, like being against everything that I was supposed to do. Because your dad's gone. Your mum tried to take her life twice. So looking back, I know exactly why I reacted that way.
You're angry at the world, you know. That's
Yes,
that's that's kind of absolutely normal. And have you
very
got
angry.
any
Yes.
you got any brothers and sisters?
No, no.
So just you, and
Single child. Yeah.
yeah, and all of this has happened to you. And okay, it's an adventure living in a different country and all that, but you know, your dad
Yeah.
leaving, it's almost like that abandonment. And
Yes.
then if you're hearing that your mum's tried to commit suicide, like, yeah, she's got her own
Yeah.
stuff going on, but you're then feeling, well, why is she wanting to abandon me as well? You know, so
Yeah.
that's like, you know, massive T
It
traumas.
is.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
is. Yeah.
absolutely.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm gonna I mean, I'm not gonna presume that you ever took any, you know, weed or any other harder drugs, but I'm guessing there wasn't any at that time in Dubai, you know.
No, no. I mean, because drugs, I mean, alcohol was sort of legal if you
Yeah.
had your permit and everything. But drugs, like back in the days, I mean, the drug laws have changed in Dubai. I mean, they become very tolerant of these kind of things
Well,
now.
because they have to
Yeah.
let Westerners in, don't they? It's a party
Yes.
town, so you know they've had to relax it
Yeah.
because they can't. I mean, what was it? Death penalty for most drugs, was it?
No, but it wasn't death penalty, but it was like you'd go to jail immediately. Like you wouldn't even go on trial or anything. Like if they
Yeah,
found any amount of drugs, you'd just wander off to jail instantly.
yeah, and then get lost in the system.
So drugs were never a thing there. Yeah.
No, no. I mean, it's the thing with drugs is it's not like I think, you know, like talking about maybe weed or whatever. But they always say weed is the gateway drug. It's not. Alcohol is, you know. And
Yeah,
I
it is.
don't think had we grown up in a place where it wasn't readily available,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have gone searching for it, you know, but
Yeah.
because it was there and we saw other kids doing it and we'd heard about other kids doing it, we were like, oh, maybe we should try that. So it
Yeah.
became like almost like a second nature thing. But if we were living in
Of
a
course.
country like Dubai, you know, UAE, where you know the severity of the punishment is so extreme, it's
Yeah.
not readily available. You're not having kids round the back of the school smoking a
Exactly.
joint instead of a cigarette.
And it scares the living daylights out of you because, like, as a child, if someone tells you you're going to go to jail immediately, I mean, that scares you off.
Of course it does. Yeah, 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 yeah. And that's, you know, it works. I'm not saying that, you know, from my point of view, like drugs are the least harmful kind of culprit out there at the
Yeah.
moment. But yeah, that's mad. So what did you do when you finished school? Was that around the time that you then moved to Germany or
Exactly. That was
yeah.
the exact time, yeah. Because we kind of decided what we're gonna do. I mean, I did my GCSEs. I didn't
Hmm.
want to do my A levels because I just thought, screw school. It's
Yeah,
not for me, basically.
let's get on with it.
Um,
Yeah.
so my parents thought about it. Do we move back to the UK? Do we move to Germany? And we decided, or they decided, to move to Germany because my stepfather was from Germany.
Yeah.
And I must say, it's quite a good decision because, like, back in the days, if I look at both economies now, I mean, UK's always been struggling a lot. I mean, it wasn't
Yeah.
as bad as it is now. But even back then, I mean, Germany was the place to be in
Oh,
Europe. They
absolutely.
had a thriving economy,
Yeah.
like very low unemployment rate, everything was good, low inflation rate. So I'm actually quite happy we moved to Germany.
Yeah, 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 definitely. No, it's a good choice because yeah, you look at it and it's like Germany's still a booming economy now, but the UK is like struggling. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't live in the UK; I live in the Isle of Man now, and
yeah,
you know we do all right over here, but the UK
yeah.
it's just going to shit house. I mean, I know people will be
It
listening,
is,
going,
yeah,
"Oh, yeah, I live in the UK," and I used to live in the UK, and I loved
yeah.
it, but I don't think I'd go back, you know, and that's the thing. But
It's very difficult.
Germany's a lovely country. I love Germany. And so, what did you do, like work wise? Did you do college? What kind of
Yeah,
happened
yeah, well,
there?
basically, like Pandora's box opened for me in Germany, like
Yeah,
literally, because I was like on the scale, on the tip scale of my going crazy. Like I just discovered death metal and thrash metal and all the really
yeah,
good stuff. I'm like Alice Cooper, Guns N' Roses. I mean, that's for girls, and yeah, I was like into that really hard stuff
yeah,
and
yeah,
doing the
yeah.
drinking. And we moved to Germany,
Which is
and I
like the
went to the
home of death metal and thrash
yes,
metal, isn't
and
it? Yeah, right.
alcohol,
And
So
alcohol, of course.
yeah. So,
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
remember we went to a supermarket and I could not believe my eyes. I remember asking my dad, I'm like, is this like real alcohol? He's like, yeah, of course. I'm like, but where are the booze shops? He's like, we don't have booze shops. Why not? Yeah, because in Germany, you just sell it in supermarkets. And
Yeah,
my mind couldn't grasp that thought. I'm like, you sell this good stuff in supermarkets for
yeah,
everyone, you
yeah.
know?
Well,
And I'm
not
like,
even that. In Germany, can you buy alcohol in a newsagents? Like in your corner
yeah,
shop. Yeah, and
yeah,
the petrol stations.
yeah, as well. And the
Yeah.
thing is that the minimum age is 16 for beer and
Oh,
wine.
I did not know
16
that.
years old.
That's
So I was
interesting.
17 and I was
See,
like, we've literally moved to heaven, you know?
yeah.
So,
And
so,
so
so
just going back, UAE, and although it's you've got to have a special permit, is there an age limit in the UAE for drinking alcohol?
yeah, 18, of
18, so
course.
it's the
Yeah.
same, yeah, as the UK. I did not know that Germany was 16. Is that still the same?
16, yeah, it's still the same. It's crazy.
Wow, that is crazy.
It
I
is,
mean, it's
yeah.
obviously amazing for you moving there at 17. You don't even have to worry about someone having a permit to buy alcohol. You can literally
Yeah,
walk into your local shop
exactly.
and get it because
Yeah,
you're already
yeah,
17.
yeah.
So yeah, Pandora's box. How did that work for you then?
Horribly. I mean, for me it was heaven. I mean, little did I know what was going to happen. So I moved to Germany. Like death metal, you couldn't get everything in Dubai because it was censored back in the days.
Yeah, yeah,
All the
yeah.
Satan and kill God and
And no
decapitate.
internet. No
Yeah,
internet. So it's not like you
no
could just
internet.
stream it, download it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So Pandora's box opened in a good way, like in the form of music, because I still listen to death metal. I mean, I'm going to be
Mhm.
a metalhead for the rest of my
Of
life,
course.
and
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love
yeah.
it,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
love it. So I'm very happy for that. But then we used to go to supermarkets and buy wine, beer, and I'd get smashed every day. So,
Hmm.
so I met a group of other punks and a few other metalheads, and we used to go to rock bars, metal bars, something I've never seen before in my life.
Of course,
And
yeah.
I was literally like, "Thank you, God, for sending me to Germany." Literally.
And you could speak the language, I'm guessing, because you'd been learning it since you were younger. Yeah.
No, no, German I learned in Germany. So I was
Okay.
speaking English to everyone, but I picked it up quite fast. I mean,
Yeah.
as a
Yeah.
youngster, you pick up languages really quickly.
And I'm guessing going to all these metal clubs and bars and all that, you didn't
Yeah,
didn't take you long to kind of find a group of kindred spirits and people that you
yeah,
could party with and drink with.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like we moved to Germany, and 2 weeks later, I had a bunch of friends everywhere,
Yeah. Yeah.
because I was the exotic guy that was actually English but grew up in the UAE and listening to death metal and like going even crazier than I was in Dubai. So
Yeah.
I was still like riding that wave of, like I was like kind of a clown, but also kind of like, I'll do whatever you dare me to kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Still the rocket fuel boy. Yeah.
No, no more rocket fuel.
No,
I
no,
never
but
did that.
still that mentality that like,
Yeah,
yeah, if you dare me to go and drink that pint or that dirty
yeah,
pint, then I'll do that. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And were you working at this point or did
No,
you
no,
no,
no.
no. Any college
I,
on the horizon or
nothing. I mean, my last thought was, what am I going to do with my life? Because I was too
yeah.
busy getting wasted every day. Like literally, I
Oh
was
yeah,
so
yeah.
wasted,
Why
you
would you
know?
think that? I mean, that was the thing
Yeah,
with me. I was like, I think my stepdad was like, "Oh, you need to go to uni or do this," and I was like, "No, like that's not for me." I ended up doing a bit of college and then quitting it because
yeah,
it wasn't for me. And then I worked in
yeah,
bars, so because I was like, they eventually they were like, "Well, we're not just going to pay for everything for you, so you need to work." So
yeah,
yeah, but it was like I didn't have any future thoughts of like, what's my career going to be like.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? I just had this mentality that like I was going to live forever and I would deal with all that stuff in a few years' time or whatever.
yeah,
But right now, I'm just going to party. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Exactly, exactly. Like same thing. And my
yeah,
parents told me the same thing. You can't just carry on drinking forever. We're going to pay for everything, and you do nothing. And I was kind of I was quite disappointed. I'm like, why not? I mean,
Yeah, like I'm I'm your only son, and why not? I'm just gonna do
yeah,
this. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And so, like, at what point did you kind of go to college or work, or how long did
No,
that period kind of?
well, my parents kept on like trying to figure everything out because my dad
Yeah.
had a very good job, highly intelligent person.
Hmm.
My
Hmm.
mom was still a teacher, so she obviously wanted me to have some kind of, I don't know, to go to university or college, do something. And
Yeah.
I mean, I was very clear about it that I didn't want to do it. So they said, okay, then you have to look for a job. What kind of job do you want to do? Well, preferably one where I can drink all day and listen to death metal. Okay, it doesn't exist. So what a
Yeah.
pity, you know?
Yeah.
So I ended up, I think that was two years later. I did a trial day as a chef
Yeah.
because my parents said, you know what, just try that out. Maybe that's your thing.
Yeah.
And that actually really did click with me. And
Yeah.
I thought, okay, this isn't that bad, you know?
Yeah.
So that's when I like started my apprenticeship back in the days because it's like an actual apprenticeship
Hmm.
to start as a trainee as a chef. Yeah.
Which
And,
is
and, and
great because my like obviously you're still kind of doing that now, and
yeah,
that's amazing because me, I should have done apprenticeship. I should have done something. I don't know, like maybe being an electrician or
yeah,
even done labouring because I ended up working in offices. I did a lot of bar work, but then I ended up temping and I'd get a job in an office and this, that, and the
yeah,
other. And it was what's sucking the life out of me. Like now,
yeah,
6 years nearly sober, and I've been doing gardening for 6 years. I'm
yeah,
outside. I'm working for myself. I'm working with my hands. I'm doing something that feels fulfilling, rather than just pushing bits of paper in an office. And I've no problem with that for people that do that and love it. It's just not for me. And it sounds
yeah,
like it wasn't for you at all. But you found chefing, so that's amazing. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But that literally opened the second door to Pandora's
Oh yeah, I
box.
know what chefs are like. Chefs are
Yes,
absolutely lunatics. They are a
yes,
new breed upon themselves, and
exactly. Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. So what
So
was that
so so
like?
you've got.
Go on, yeah, yeah,
I mean, so you've got this crazy guy that's just moved to a country that where you
yeah,
could literally buy alcohol everywhere,
yeah,
and then I just found a career or a job where the crazier you are, the more you drink, the more accepted you are.
yeah,
So I thought, okay, this is cool. I mean, I kind of enjoyed cooking because I just had a talent for it somehow. And it was very normal to go out for drinks after every shift. It was normal to have a drink before the shift. Like you
yeah,
came to work totally messed up, hungover, and they'd be like, just have a shot or have a beer in the morning.
yeah.
And so I started doing that, and I'm like, oh, this really helps because it just gets you drunk again, you know? So I thought, wow, this alcohol thing is like really good, you
And
know?
I'm sure you can listen to death metal while you're working, or at least some
Yeah,
type of music in the kitchen.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
interesting you say that, Ashley, about the as we call it, the hair of the dog.
yeah,
To alleviate the pain of the hangover.
yeah.
I don't know if you've heard of William Porter. He was on the podcast last week. He wrote Alcohol Explained, and
Yes,
it's an
yes,
amazing book. And in
yeah,
that, he's talking about, he doesn't call it the hair of the dog, but having that drink. And it doesn't even have to be the morning, it can be that evening, but you've had this
yeah,
horrendous day at work and
yeah,
you get home and you have that glass or that bottle,
yeah,
and it makes you, and it's just opening up those neural pathways. So,
yes,
there's two types of people, you and I, and then the others that don't do that, and
yeah,
I think the ones that do that, they open these neural pathways in their brain that says, if I'm feeling like shit, what's going to make me feel better? And the brain instantly goes, more booze. You'll be
yeah,
fine if you have more booze. So we do that and we do that and we do that. And then,
yeah.
the rest is, as they say.
And then you're in it. I mean,
Slippery
you're in
slope.
that cycle, and
Yeah.
that's how you like officially become an alcoholic,
Yeah,
literally.
absolutely. And the thing with that is you're what, like 17, 18 at this point, you've got this apprenticeship
Yeah,
and you're already a madman, and you're working with mad men and women. And it's like,
yeah,
it's okay to do what you're doing. It's no one's
yeah,
frowning upon you. No one
yeah,
is saying, Ashley, come on, rein it in a bit. It's like,
yeah.
it's let's go to the circus, basically. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Like if I would have done that in any other job, they'd literally say like, "What the hell is wrong with you?" Like, get your
Yeah.
shit together.
Well, I used to come into jobs that I'd had all the time, and my CV's as long as my arms and legs, because
Yeah.
I would go to a job and then I'd have maybe a heavy weekend or a Thursday night, and I'd come in the next day and they'd be like, "Oh, you smell a bit of alcohol," and it was
Yeah.
like, and then it was like these were kind of red marks against my name, and then before long I
Yeah.
would move to somewhere else because I was like, I don't need this hassle, and it's
Yeah.
like, but you've got the perfect job,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Like,
for
like the
for
more you drink, the cooler you are. Like the really good chefs drink even more. I mean, it's that kind of image that they project onto you, you know?
yeah, yeah. I've yet to
So
meet.
that went on for years. Yeah.
Is it what? Sorry.
I said that went on for years that way,
Yeah.
literally.
So how? Yeah. So that's what I was going to say. Like, how was your life through that? You obviously did the apprenticeship, and then did
Yeah.
you start working and get your own
Yeah.
restaurant or whatever? And did you settle down, buy a house, any of these things in the kind of normal scheme of a life?
Nothing, none of that. Like literally
No
until I
way.
was 33,
Yeah.
I always worked in very cool restaurants and I always had very good positions and I didn't have my life together, but I always had my job together. Because as
Hmm.
much as my job destroyed me, it was also my anchor in life, literally.
Yeah.
Because I knew, okay, I'd have to show up to work. Don't let your colleagues down, you know? I mean, it was like it was the
Family.
thing that held me back, actually, like literally. Like my
Yeah.
job put me into that position, but also gave like reinforced the stability in my life somehow, which sounds quite paradox, but I mean that's how it worked, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I totally get that because I wasn't too bothered about letting my colleagues down if I was out with my friends or whatever at the weekend and thought, oh, I'm not going to make it into Monday. But whereas you've got almost like this little family and it's like it's grounding you in that weird way, but it's causing what eventually becomes the
Yeah.
issue. So at what point did you think this isn't fun
Yeah.
anymore or this isn't, the wheels are falling off? Was there?
No, I mean, there were a few times when my friends told me, we think you're drinking a bit too much. We think you
Mhm.
should cut down. I mean, it's not good for you. All these blackouts, like you're doing things when you're drunk, you don't even remember the next day. So I had people telling me that, but I didn't care. I'm like, I'm not an alcoholic. I'm like, guys, what is wrong with you? I mean, I've got it under control. I'm just drinking because it's fun, you
Mhm.
know?
Yeah, we're just, so like, at what point
Yeah,
did you like your friends are saying, you may be drinking too much? Were you taking that on board, or were you just
yeah,
kind of like going, whatever?
no. No, not at all. I've got it under control. I mean, I'm not one of those guys that get addicted to alcohol. I don't need it. I'm just doing it because I want to. I mean, that was like my addicted self or my ego talking to me. I mean, I didn't know it at the time because
Yeah,
I was literally getting up in the morning and drinking a bottle or two of wine to be able to
yeah,
start the day. Like
yeah,
literally, I drank two bottles of wine to stop the withdrawal effects. I had like massive alcohol withdrawals.
And what age were you at this point? Because I used to call it my sober level, and I would drink like morning time, be a half bottle before I could do anything, half bottle of vodka before
Yeah,
I could function, basically, before I could get
yeah,
washed, maybe have something to eat. I didn't eat a lot in those days, but
yeah.
yeah. What age were you at that point? Sorry.
I think I was like, I don't remember when it started, but I remember when I went to rehab and I was 33.
Yeah.
No, now it's 2026. I've been sober for 17 years. I know that. So it was, yeah.
Um, yeah, so you went to rehab at 32, 33? Did you say?
No, 31, 31.
31. Yeah. Yeah. And how was that?
Yeah.
Why did you kind of end not why did you end up there, but who kind of instigated that? Was that your folks or?
Well, no, it was actually, it was my boss at the time, plus my
Hmm.
friends, plus my girlfriend at the time. And they all kind of like, they didn't come at the same time. They came like separately, but they told me like this has gone far enough.
Yeah.
You always smell of alcohol. You're always pissed out of your brain. You're coming to work drunk as hell.
Yeah.
Like you're really like if you don't stop, you're either gonna die or something really bad is gonna happen. You're gonna end up on the streets basically.
Yeah.
So that kind of like really shook me up. And I remember the girl I was dating at the time. She took me to rehab. Yeah, and she dropped me off there. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean it's mad in it because we can't see it from, and like for you, you're thinking, well, this is what my job is. This is what it is, But obviously, you've
Yeah.
pushed that to the absolute limit, where even your
Yes.
boss is
Yeah.
saying, no, hang on, there's a level that we do here, but
Yeah,
you're now drinking
yeah,
2 bottles of wine before you're even coming on a shift,
yeah,
and I'm guessing
yeah,
your work wasn't up to, proper high
exactly.
standards,
Yeah,
so everything's kind of
yeah.
yeah, but we can't see it, and we're
Horrible.
like I mean, I don't know about you, but when I went to rehab and it was a similar thing, my family, my girlfriend at the time, my friend at the time, I didn't have work, so I didn't have a boss doing this, but they were
Yeah.
like, "You need to go here." And when I went there, they said, "Whatever you do, you have to do this for yourself." And I
Yes.
was like, "Oh, yeah, 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 I'm doing it for self." I wasn't. I was doing it for my girlfriend at the time because we'd kind of split up because of my alcoholism, and I was
Yeah.
like, if I get sober, I can get her back. So I was doing it for
Yes.
all the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
How was that for you? Like what where did you go in there begrudgingly, or did you think, no, I really do need to get some help here?
I must say, once I was in there, like the first night was horrible because
Mm.
they medicate you, but they medicate you after you're like completely got alcohol completely out of your system,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, yeah,
So I had to go through all these withdrawals, shaking. Like I had panic attacks, anxiety. I was screaming. I mean, I thought I was going to die, literally. Like my
yeah,
whole body was shaking.
yeah.
So there was a nurse that kept coming in all the time to check on me, and I was like, just give me something to drink. I was like really panicking. And I remember the next morning that they measured my blood alcohol level, and they said, "Okay, now you're down. Now we can start giving you medication
Hmm.
against the withdrawal symptoms." You know, so that
Yeah.
kind of helped. And I
Librium.
remember the second, the third day, I thought, "Oh, this is nice." I mean, I haven't had a clear head for I don't know 20 years,
Yeah,
literally.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
thought, this feels good. And I just felt this energy. I just felt young and motivated again. And I was very scared because I didn't know what was going to happen because my old boss said, well, he's not going to take me back.
Hmm.
I didn't know what was going to happen with my life somehow. So, like, everything went off the rails, basically. But I do remember feeling very good. Like,
Right.
I didn't regret being there. I felt really, really good. And I was getting along with everyone. And I was the young, cool guy again, just without the booze. You know, everyone wanted to hang
Yeah.
around me, and everyone was like, oh, you're so fun to be around. So I thought, oh, this is nice without the alcohol, you
And
know?
was this in the rehab center or was this when you
Yes.
came out?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was in
'Cause
the rehab center. Yes.
it's very similar. I mean, when I got in there, and this was right at the beginning of COVID, so I'd got in there 3 days later. The country went into lockdown, so it was a very bizarre time.
Yeah.
Two people that were there was three of us in there at the time. Two were on like day I don't know, like 26, 27. They
Okay.
were fresh, they were clean, they were sober, they were
Yeah.
loving life, and I was this mess
Yeah.
that had just rocked in.
Yeah.
Like I drank a bottle of vodka on the way in, so
Yeah.
then I had to wait like 24 hours till I could get Librium and all of this stuff. And
Yeah.
it was like, but they were like, "Oh no, this is a really good center," and I've still got good friends from there. We've lost a lot of people from there as well through alcoholism. You know, that's the numbers
Wow.
of deaths are horrible, but it was a
Yeah.
great experience. You know, I learned a lot from it. Yeah, it wasn't the time that my sobriety stuck, but it
Yeah.
did
Same.
set me on the path. You
Yeah.
know, and so
Yeah.
mine was 28 days. How long were you in there for?
Well, I was in for 2 weeks. Then they
Yeah,
let me out, and I thought, okay, now it's me against the world. I'm sober. I don't need it anymore. I'm
yeah,
cool. I'm good looking. I'm young.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So everything went well for like a week, and I went to a party, and I didn't. I mean, now looking back, I know my biggest mistake was not to tell anyone that I was
yeah.
sober, that I went to rehab, because I was very ashamed to tell anyone about it. You know,
Yeah, it's
I
weird
wasn't
that, isn't
ashamed
it?
of what I was before I went into rehab. I was proud of that, but I was ashamed to tell everyone that I went to rehab.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
Yes.
It's mad this kind of an anonymity that we must
Yeah.
seek from being addicts and
Yes.
alcoholics.
Yeah.
It's absolute baffling.
It is.
Um,
It is.
so you went to this bar.
Yeah.
Had they kind of warned you in rehab saying stay away from alcoholic premises for a
Of
while?
course they did. Of
Yeah,
course they did.
but you're
Like
like,
that.
no,
Don't
I'm
do that.
fine. Yeah,
I'm fine. I'm good. You know, I'm healed. I'm not shaking anymore. I haven't drank for 2 weeks or 3 weeks. All good. So we got there, and I was like the craving just like instantly popped up, and I was like, my mind started playing games with me. Just have one drink. I mean, it's not going to kill you. I mean, you're sober now. You can have one or two drinks and just stop it. And I
Yeah.
kept resisting it. And at some point, I mean, it didn't even take long. I think it was maybe half an hour or 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to have a beer. So
Hmm.
I had a beer. And I remember after that, I had a Cuba Libre, which is my favorite drink. And I thought, well, I'm okay. I feel good. Nothing bad has happened. So I had another one and another one and another one. And I went straight back to what I was doing before I went to rehab. And
Yeah.
I thought, okay, now I got home. I'm going to get up the next morning. I got up the next morning, tremor.
Yeah.
I was shaking all over. Had to run somewhere to get some booze to stop it. So like the whole thing started all over again.
It's
The thing was that I
crazy.
thought, I'm used to this. I've done this, so I can just stick to it.
Yeah.
But if you've never been sober and you're at that stage, compared to going back to that after you've been sober, it's not the same thing.
No.
It's
No.
not the same thing. And I thought it was, but it felt very different as well.
Yeah. Because you've had a taste of this, I guess, if you want to call it freedom or whatever, but now you've
Yes.
gone back to it and you think that that's the easy option because you know
Yeah.
it and it's what's comfortable and
Yeah.
it's easier to just drink rather than feel
Yeah.
the pain of withdrawal and all that.
Exactly.
But it's not easy, is it?
No.
Because, like my end of it was just horrible. It was
Yes.
like every day I knew what I needed to do in
Yeah.
order to make myself feel okay. But I
Yeah.
wasn't feeling okay. Like I'd never got to a point
Exactly.
during the day when I'd put away the withdrawals and all that I was
Yeah.
actually happy and good. I was inebriated, you know what I mean? But like just
Yeah.
in this fuzzy world of misery. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's
Totally. I
horrible.
mean, I totally feel that,
And it's
100%.
amazing how quickly a relapse can get you right back to where you were. Like
Like
that's the
instantly,
thing.
like it literally gets you
Ah,
back there. It teleports you to that exact moment. Yeah.
yeah. Like I know, like you're what, are you 17, 18 years now?
17 years and 2 months.
Ah, well done, man. That's so commendable. Well done. I'm like 5 years. Well, it'll be
Yeah, but
six,
that's amazing. I
six
mean,
years in August. I know, but the time's just gone by. But
yeah,
I know for a fact that if I went out tonight and had a beer, it would not be long. We're talking within 24 hours before I
yes.
am pissing everyone off. I've lost,
Yeah,
the wife, the kids. I'm back
yeah,
at my folks' house if they'll have me, all of that stuff. So it's like,
yeah.
well, for what? For what? Why would
For what?
I? Why would I
Yeah,
do that? So where
yeah.
did you go after that? After that kind of relapse, and then you're thinking, I'm just going to go back to drinking. How
Yeah,
did it?
well, I kind of went back to drinking. I realized it's not working out the way it used to, that I couldn't function the way I functioned before rehab with alcohol.
Hmm.
I couldn't function after rehab with alcohol the way I did before. Like I couldn't. I was like paralyzed, literally. And
Yeah.
I remember having a nervous breakdown. I just broke down and I was just crying and sobbing and I was hysterical. And I called a friend of mine, um, because actually I forgot to mention that my relapse happened when I was in Dubai.
Oh, right,
I
right.
was
Yeah.
back in Dubai for the first time ever since we left. So I went to my friend's place, to Shaz's place, and he had a
Not
massive.
Michael, not Michael, because he's the
No, no,
bad
not
one. He's the
Michael.
instigator. Yeah,
Yeah. And I didn't tell anyone, I forgot to mention it was back in Dubai.
yeah.
So me going back to Dubai since I left when I was 17 ended up me getting wasted
Wow,
because I was
wow.
ashamed to tell anyone that I was sober and I went to rehab.
And it's so
So
ironic that in a country which is, predominantly dry, that you felt like you couldn't say, "Listen, I've had a bit of a problem with alcohol. I'm not going to
yeah,
drink tonight. I'm going to come
yeah,
out with you guys, but keep an
yeah,
eye on me." So
yeah,
the thing is, they say the relapse happens before the relapse. It's like you possibly didn't tell them because you thought, well, if I tell them that I'm not drinking, then that completely stops me potentially having
yeah,
a drink tonight. Our brain plays that kind of
yeah,
trick
yeah,
on
of
us. And
course,
it's
of
like,
course,
if I
yes,
if I
yes,
don't tell them, then I could possibly have a drink and we'll see how that goes. I might be okay
yeah,
on one. We know that's not how
yeah,
it went and
of
whatnot.
course not.
How was your girlfriend and your boss and all of them that had kind of helped get you into rehab? How did they, when they found out that what had happened, how were
Well,
they
my
feeling?
girlfriend, like, she basically said that she wasn't my girlfriend anymore at the time. It was kind of on pause.
Yeah,
But she said, like, I mean, I knew it was going to happen. I knew you're not going to pull through with it. My mum said, I knew it was going to happen. You're never going to, like, literally, no one believed in me.
Wow.
Even my best friend said, well, I knew it wasn't going to last. But I mean, so literally when I flew back, I got back to Germany and I just literally begged one of my friends to take me back to rehab. So I
Hmm.
went back to rehab, started all over again. And that time I remember I had a new boss and he told me, I gave you one chance. This is your second chance. There is no more third chance. Take this very seriously. Because
Hmm.
afterwards, I mean, I'm done with you.
Yeah.
And that really that was like a wake up call because I felt scared that I was going to end up like a homeless person on the streets, that it's going
Yeah.
to evolve into that.
Yeah. How were your parents at this point? Were they aware of quite how bad it had got? And, were they, so I know, like you're saying, you would end up homeless. I guess you didn't want to kind of go back and, live at the parents'
No,
house or whatever like that.
no,
No,
never,
no,
never, ever,
no,
no.
no, no.
I mean,
Okay.
my parents weren't involved in the past 10 years of my life before rehab because
Hmm.
I kind of like cut off the connection to them. I just see them, I don't know, once or twice a year, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Yeah. You're doing your thing. They're doing their thing. And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that second time in rehab, how was that? And was that the one that stuck?
That stuck, yes. Because I left rehab. I remember leaving rehab and it was a different place.
Yeah.
And I had an even better experience, although the first one was very good as well.
Hmm.
And people tell me, like, you've done it for the second time. You're a young guy, you're a cool guy, you've got a very bright future ahead of you. You're so clever.
Hmm.
You're
Hmm.
you're a sweet person. Just don't ruin your life with that.
Yeah.
And I remember like leaving rehab and I called all of my best friends and I told them, guys, I'm sober. I don't ever want to go back to it.
Hmm.
But I was still ashamed to talk about it publicly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
only told my close friends. So that kind of like came out of me 2, 3 years later because I remember reading Slash's biography. I was
Oh,
like, Slash is the man for me.
yeah. Yeah. I met
And
him.
yeah,
I met him when I was 15, I think, when he was touring
nice.
with Slash's Snake Pit, and he came off the
Yeah.
tour
Oh, I
bus.
love them.
And
Yeah.
yeah, we met him, shook his hand, and all that. This was many years ago, but yeah, I read
Yeah.
that book. It's an amazing book. I mean, like hedonistic,
Amazing.
but he's sober now as well, I believe. Yeah, yeah,
Yes, he
yeah.
is. They're all
Most they're
sober.
all sober. Yeah, they're all like Duff McKagan's got a great book as well. If you've not
Yeah.
read
Yeah.
that
I
one,
love Duff. Duff is
yeah, yeah,
he's a
yeah,
cool guy.
yeah. So you
Yeah.
sorry, you read that book and that kind of.
So I read that book and I spoke to my best friend once, and he's still my best friend.
Mhm.
And he told me, you've got all these idols of yours, all these rock guys, all these metal gods. And he said, they're all sober. And they
Yeah,
talk about it everywhere. Every opportunity they get, they talk about how sober they are.
yeah,
Like they're literally bragging about it. So
yeah,
why are you ashamed of it? I mean, he said, look at you. You've got your tattoos. You look like one of them, basically.
yeah,
Why is it different for them? And why are you ashamed of it?
yeah,
And that really clicked in my head. I was like, fucking hell, yeah, he's right.
yeah.
What am I ashamed of? There's nothing to be ashamed of.
It's mad, and like I've got, I'm not this. It's they're on a different bookshelf, but in fact, there's one there. So that's one of the good ones. I don't know if you read that one, Flea, Acid for the Children.
No, I
Well,
haven't.
it's
No.
Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers, but like
Yeah, yeah,
all of my autobiographies or biographies, they're all of rock stars, some dead, some alive, but they're
yeah,
all sober, and the stories are
yeah,
just amazing. But like, what the one kind of factor that comes out of it is they're doing better now. They're doing more creative things
yeah,
now than they did or
yeah.
could do when they were, absolutely. Obviously, there's a few
Exactly.
exceptions to the rule. Like I think Keith Richards is still drinking or whatever, but
Yeah, he is.
he's an absolute
He's doing
mystery.
everything. Yeah,
Yeah, but the rest of them,
yeah,
they're like, yeah, you know what? We did this for a while. We lived the high life. We did it till it, basically killed us or our friends around us, and then we thought, right, I need
yeah,
to stop this. So yeah, it's mad.
yeah.
It's mad. Yeah,
It
and
is. It
so
is. Yeah.
with rehab, was that like what was your kind of tools and toolkit? Was it AA based? Was it fellowship or um, what was life like when you came out of rehab and you were like, this is it, I'm going to do it
Well,
this time?
yeah. Well, I remember going once to AA while I was still like pissed out of my brains, but kind of like on a normal, doable level before I went to my first rehab.
Yeah,
Because my dad told me, like, he's like, just check out AA. It's okay. I mean, I can go with you or just go alone, just sneak in there. And I remember I was terrified to walk in there.
yeah,
And I remember walking into this AA place and I thought, this is like a very bad energy. It's very dark. It's very run down. Everyone was like Hi, I'm an alcoholic. And I
Yeah,
sat there for like 20 minutes and they kept going on about how horrible their past was and how much they regret it. And they kept going on and on. There was like nothing positive. Not one person said anything positive. And
yeah,
I literally, I left the meeting. I'm like, fuck this. I'm never going back.
yeah,
Like literally never.
yeah, yeah. So what did you then do to kind of stay sober? Did you have any tools, or if you didn't do AA? And I'm not saying, because I did a bit of NA. I did that for a year, and it was great. I had a really good group.
Yeah.
But then I
Yeah.
got to the point where I was like, I don't want to do this forever. There's old timers that were
Yeah.
coming in there that were like
Yeah.
25, 30 years sober, and they're still saying, "My
Yeah.
name's so and so, and I'm an addict. I'm an alcoholic," and I'm like,
Exactly.
I don't want to be doing that when I'm in my 60s. Like, I
Yeah.
know it's there if I need it, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
branch off and do my own thing now. But I'd had a year of sobriety at that point to kind of have the
Yeah.
grounding. What did you
Yeah.
do anything, or was it just pure
Well,
Ashley?
to be honest, I decided to give it another try. So after
Hmm.
my second time sober, I went again to an AA meeting.
Right, right,
And
right.
it was like literally the same thing all over again. Hi,
Yeah.
I'm Ashley. I'm an alcoholic. Hi, I'm Dave. I'm an alcoholic. Hi, I'm blah, blah, blah. I'm an alcoholic. And like that whole cycle repeated. They just talked about how bad their day was. One person said, I think that they had a positive experience, but they moved quickly back into talking about the past, how
Hmm.
dark it was, that they never want to go back. They were reading the 12 steps. I mean, it was kind of like, I felt like I was in a cult. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. And if you
they
don't
pre
go to, and I've got good mates in the fellowship and all that, but there is that whole moniker like, if you don't get to a meeting, you're going to relapse, and it's like, whoa,
yeah.
how can that be a sweeping statement for everyone? You don't even
Yeah,
know me. And it's
yeah,
like, and
exactly.
then also what I don't like is, and I did believe this for the first year, like, I'm spiritual, so the higher power for me was
Me
like
too.
the universe
Yes.
and all of that. It
Yeah,
wasn't anything to do with God, which I know they
yeah,
don't bang on about it being God. It's the God of your
yeah,
understanding. But for me,
yeah,
it was like they were always saying, give yourself up to your higher power and that'll help you get
yeah,
sober. What I
yeah.
realized after about 3 years of sobriety was the thing that got me sober was me. Like, yeah, I went to
Yes.
the meetings and I did all the books and I read the quitlet and blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah. But the thing that got me sober
yeah,
was fucking me. Do you know what I mean? And
yeah.
that's the most
Exactly.
powerful thing, when you realize
Yes.
this that you have is you that's done that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, that's exactly how I see it as well. It's no higher power. Like a lot of people, oh, I need God to help me through this. I can't do it without God. Of course you can, because it's you. I mean, you
Yeah.
put yourself in that mess. I mean, consciously or unconsciously, and you can pull yourself out of that mess, definitely. And
Absolutely.
like
Yeah.
I, I didn't have any groups to go to because back in the days in Germany, you only had like random meetings that was similar to AA and everything. And I got to the point when I
Hmm.
started calling myself an ex-alcoholic or a former addict, or I'd even used to say, well, I used to be addicted to alcohol, now I'm not. So I was very against this labeling. Like, why should I actively call myself an alcoholic for the rest of my life if I'm not?
Yeah.
And even at the beginning, when people tell me you'll always be an alcoholic, you're always going to be sick, I agree to it with that to a certain extent. I will never be able to drink again because I will
Yeah.
relapse. So, like, your neural patterns are opened, they've changed. You can't go back to what you were before. But I am not
Hmm.
actively an alcoholic, and that never sat right with me, and it never felt right to say I'm an alcoholic.
Yeah. Because I mean, I called myself that for a while, but then when I stopped going to the meetings, I was like, well, what is an alcoholic? An alcoholic, even though I hate that word, just because it has all
Yeah.
those negative connotations. So you say that word and people think of,
Yes.
someone sat on a park bench with a bottle and a brown paper bag. And that
Yeah.
wasn't me for the majority of it. But it's like, if you the word alcoholic means someone that is physically dependent on alcohol, in my mind, in my opinion. And
Yes.
I wasn't that for a long
Yeah.
time. I've not been that for nearly 6 years. So how
Yes.
can I still be an alcoholic? Yeah. Like
Yes.
you're saying, if I drink
Exactly.
again tomorrow, then boom, I'm back to the races. But as long as I don't do that, I'm not
Yes.
addicted. I'm not an alcoholic. So yeah, yeah. It's
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So I never really had any meetings to go to. What I did have was a very, very strong support system because
Yeah.
all my friends around me were never heavy drinkers. That's the
Good
irony
for
of
you.
the whole thing. That all
Yeah,
my friends in Germany were normal people. They would have a beer once in a while, which is
yeah,
why I'm not per se against everyone drinking alcohol. I'm not one of those guys that says now the whole world has to stop drinking because I stopped. I'm not going to
yeah,
preach how
yeah,
bad it is for you, because some
yeah.
people can have a normal drink, and that's fine. I mean, it's their decision. I'm not here to preach and to force everyone to stop drinking. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's up to you. And they were all the kind of guys like once in a blue moon. I mean, literally like once every 2, 3 months, they'd have a beer, and there is nothing wrong with that. It's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah,
And that's what I liked about it. That kind of changed my pattern of thoughts, that I am different to them. They can have one beer and not have the second and not have a drink ever again. And they
mm-hmm.
don't care. I can't. So that's the main difference. But I had that support system. They knew about it. They used to ask me, is it okay if I have a beer, or does it bother you? Which I find very sweet, very respectful.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what a true friend does.
Of course.
And nowadays, they still ask me, and I'm like, guys, really, just get over it. I mean, don't ever ask me that again. You could drink a bottle of vodka in front of my nose. You could literally empty it on my head. I couldn't care less. Like, I'm
Yeah,
past that. I'm really, don't never say never, but
yeah,
I think that I will never drink again. And
yeah.
I don't feel the urge to. I don't have any cravings.
Yeah, I mean, I used to be like one day at a time and all of the rest of it, and then it got stronger and
Yeah,
stronger, and I was like, like I used to think back at the beginning, what if like some major trauma happens in my life, like loss
yeah,
of a loved one or anything like that, would I go
yeah,
back? And now I'm like, nah, man, that's not who I am anymore. And
yeah,
also, what would that do? It's not going to bring that person back, and also it's going to
yeah.
tarnish their memory. So I'm like, yeah, there's not. So I don't have a problem with people drinking in front of me. I try and
Yeah,
explain to them that it's not good for them, but I'm not going to preach
yeah,
like you say. But
yeah.
it's fascinating. There are people, like, to go back to the AA again. There are people in there that are like, they're still white knuckling it, and I'm like,
Yes,
why have you not moved on from this yet? Because you're reminding
exactly,
yourself
exactly.
3 times a week. And again,
Yes.
like, I'm not having a hard go at AA because it worked amazingly for me at the
Yes.
beginning. Well, NA did, and I know it works for a lot of people, but I think it's good for a point, and then you need to move on and do
Yes.
your own thing. Yeah,
Definitely. Definitely. Because
and
I mean, like you said, I know people that still go to AA, and like you just said, they're white knuckling it. They're still struggling every day. And I'm also like, I mean, obviously, not all people are the same. Your nervous system is wired differently. Your
of
brain's
course,
wired differently.
yeah,
Maybe they
yeah,
need it more. I mean, everything's possible. But I also think, why are you not way past that stage?
hmm
Which is what changed my whole life. Because I mean, I remember working with a coach. It wasn't about addiction, it was about positive masculinity.
oh yeah,
A really cool guy, Nick Warner. He's an Australian guy, amazing guy.
hmm
And we are talking about what my purpose is in life and everything. I mean, he knew all my whole story, my background. And he said, I know what you're supposed to do, but I'm not going to be the one telling you. I mean, you should come up with that yourself. So I was
yeah,
thinking about it and talking to my girlfriend and everything. And one day it just hit me like a rock in the face. I'm like, I want to help other guys that
yeah,
were in the
yeah,
same place I was,
yeah,
you know?
yeah,
And and he asked me why, and I said because when I got out of rehab, I would have loved to have had the now me in front of me to support me.
hmm
This fully tattooed guy,
hmm
rocker, like doesn't give a shit about anything, is not
yeah,
preaching all this white collar sobriety stuff.
yeah,
I would have loved to have had someone like the way I am now in front of me, and that would have really have helped me.
yeah, yeah.
So
It's
that was
funny
my
that
motivation to actually, yeah,
when I was dabbling in sobriety at the beginning before I went to rehab, and my family or my ex put me on the phone to people, and I'd be like, and I would be so obnoxious, and I'd be like,
yeah,
so how long are you sober? And they'd be like, oh, I've not had a problem with addiction. I'd be like, well, why the fuck are you speaking to me then? Because you don't know. Do you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
although I was being obnoxious and a bit obtuse, but it was like, that is the
yeah,
truth. We need to
yeah,
know, we need to have like our peers speaking to us, because otherwise
yes,
nobody really knows. And again,
of
like the
course,
problem, like with the AA thing, I think is that, like you're saying, some of them are in dingy old churches and they're there. And I sound like I'm really
yes,
having a hard time at AA. I'm just thinking that they're doing this day in day out. And okay, yeah, my whole life is, I'm a sober coach. I do the
Yeah.
podcast, I do my Instagram. So my whole day is surrounded
Yeah.
by recovery, but it's messages of
Yes.
hope. And I think sometimes in AA, when you're hearing the old timer stories and all that, it's a bit like, so they're just being regurgitated that every single day.
Yes. Exactly.
And I'm going to get a lot of hate mail now because I'm saying this, but I think there is, we need to move on. And like what you're doing, what you're saying, like, your addiction counseling is amazing because people are rocking up and they're expecting to maybe to see someone in a suit and a tie, and then they see you and they're like,
Yeah.
this guy's going to get me. He's going to get me
Yes.
right in my soul and my gut.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah. And how long have you been doing that now then?
Well, almost 3 years now. Almost three
Yeah,
years. But
nice.
so, because like in Germany, like the system in Germany is a bit different. I think it's similar to the UK.
Hmm.
You can't just, it's not like in the US. I mean, they've got strict rules as well. But in a lot of countries, you just pay someone like 5K or 10K, do some kind of module or, container, and then you get your certificate basically.
Yeah, yeah,
But in
yeah,
Germany, if you want to do it properly, you actually have to study it. So
yeah.
so it goes on for quite a while. You've got exams and you've got tests that you need to take, and you can fail. It's not
Mhm.
like you pay for it and you pass 100%. You pass if you do the work,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's proper, therapist, counselor
It's
stuff.
proper.
Because
Yes.
the
Yes.
difference with me is I'm a sober coach, life coach, but I'm not like what that's the next level is to become counselor,
Yeah.
therapist type thing where I can
Yes.
actually treat people properly. Where I'm not saying that I'm not treating
Yes.
people properly, but do you know what I mean?
Of course not.
It's a different level. Whereas
Yeah.
you've actually,
Yes.
really, really studied into that. So that's amazing.
Yes.
What's the name of your business? I'll put the details in the show notes.
Well, it's my Instagram. It's Ashley Baker Sober Coach.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cool, cool. Love it, man. I love
That's
it.
it. Because I was thinking about that, like a website and this and that, a special branding name, and I had all kinds of thoughts. And I worked with this guy that kind of showed me how to do social media properly and how
Hmm.
to, because I had no clue about this whole thing, how to make a proper video, how to set up your bio, how to make it look professional.
Yeah,
And he's like, I mean, why do you need a special name for a brand that's you anyway? And
yeah.
Ashley Baker, it's not like it doesn't sound bad. It sounds like, I don't
Yeah.
know, a
No,
singer or an actor, whatever. I mean, it's a good name.
it's a great name. Yeah, absolutely, and it does exactly what it says on the tin. Ashley Baker Sober Coaching.
Exactly.
So yeah, no, I love it,
Yeah.
mate. I love it. As I say, I'll put
I
all the
don't have any logos or big. I mean,
yeah,
I'm the branding of my brand.
exactly, and that's all you need. That's all you need. Yeah. So, what part of your personality do you think returned when alcohol left?
um, the part that I never knew existed, that I had a lot of self-doubt.
Yeah.
So that was a negative part that came back, but that actually helped me grow.
Hmm.
So all my self-doubt turned into self-confidence. And I'm 48 years old. I'm more confident than I ever was before. I literally could not give a flying fuck what anyone thinks
Yeah.
about me, what someone says about me. I literally don't care. I
Yeah.
mean, I got my face tattooed, I got my hands tattooed. I've got to the point in life where I'm like, just take me as I am.
Yeah.
And if I'm not for you, then just leave it. Just go on. I
Exactly.
mean, I don't care. I really don't care anymore because I
Yeah.
attract the people that are attracted to me.
Yeah.
You always like polarize and attract your people.
Yeah.
And if someone doesn't like me, no offense. I mean, you can even tell me to my face, I don't like it, I don't like what you're doing. There's a lot of people on Instagram that do that, especially like my AA posts and everything. And a few years back, I might have answered a bit rude or a bit pissed off, but I don't. I'm very calm. I literally thank them
Yeah.
for their support, for their comment, for their opinion, and move on.
Yeah.
I don't care.
But I don't know why they go out their way to comment. I have people that, and I'm doing a reel or whatever about, sobriety and how,
Yeah.
this is that and whatever. And then they're like, oh, well, I'm just going to go out and drink on Friday and my alcohol is not as bad as your. And I'm like, dude, this isn't for you then. Move on. Do you know what I
Oh,
mean? Like,
yeah.
why
Yeah.
are you wasting your time commenting when it's not for you?
Yes.
Why do you think the whole internet revolves
Exactly.
around you? So,
Yeah.
but you do get
Yeah.
them.
It's
Yeah.
funny because that's exactly what Gary spoke about last week as well. Because
Yeah.
like he did a reel talking about how amazing it is to be
Yeah,
sober,
yeah, yeah.
and he
Because I
got a lot of
commented in
comments
his.
like,
Yeah,
"Remember?"
yeah, 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 yeah,
And I just watched it, and I thought, "Yeah, that's happened to me as well." I'm like,
yeah,
"Why bother? I mean,
yeah.
why bother?"
It's mad, but they
Yeah,
do because they're probably lonely and they've probably got an issue, but they're not ready to admit it yet. But the fact that
that's exactly what I said.
they've seen that post
Yeah,
and then they've had to comment on it is saying something more about
yeah,
them. Because most people would just skip it. They
exactly.
wouldn't even care. They'd be like, oh yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So what do you think finally brought you peace? Do you feel at peace?
I'm 100% at peace with
Yeah.
myself. I'm
Yeah.
if you could look inside me, you just see like calm waters.
I love it, man. I love it. Yeah. Yeah. And what's
What
your
brought me peace?
yeah, what brought you peace? So I mean obviously sobriety.
Eckhart Tolle brought me
Oh,
peace.
nice. Yeah, yeah. The
I
subtle,
love that guy.
the subtle art. No, that's not the subtle art.
The,
Is
the,
it?
the
What's
power
the,
of now.
the power of now? That's it. I always get those two mixed up. I don't know why, but they're very
Yeah.
similar.
That
Um,
was a like my first life changer was getting sober. My second life changer, which is just as big as getting sober, because that's when I started to grow. That's when I realized being sober isn't enough, you
yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
that literally blasted my brain open to a different dimension. Like the power
Yeah.
of now was a real eye opener for me.
It's an amazing, amazing book. I might have to read it again because it's been about. Well, it's coming up in 6 years. I read that when I got sober, so yeah, I
Yeah,
need to give it another read.
yeah.
What's your guilty pleasure that recovery unlocked?
Sweets, chocolate.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. 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 We love that. Is there anything about your old life you sometimes miss?
uh Even if I try very hard to find something, no, not
No.
one thing, because everything I've ever done has led me to now. So that was the first half of my life, and I enjoyed it. It was all good.
Yeah.
I mean, even if it was bad, it was still okay. And now I'm at the next part, so I don't regret anything. I don't miss anything. No,
Exactly. Exactly, man. And what did sobriety give you that you didn't expect?
myself. It gave me
Yeah.
myself back that I never realized I had because, like, I started drinking at the parts. I mean, I was so young that I didn't even have time to consciously evolve into a grown up because I was always under alcohol. Like I was always under the influence of some kind of substance.
Yeah. And
So
free frontal, the prefrontal cortex.
yes,
Jesus, I nearly said that wrong.
yes,
It doesn't develop until we're like 25, 26. So I didn't really fully
yes,
mature until I get sober at 40. It's mad. Yeah.
yes.
And now I'm
Same,
like,
same.
oh, I've got to do grown up things now, and it's like,
Yeah.
okay. But actually, do you know what? I love it. I
Exactly.
love it. Life is good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
It is.
for someone listening at 2 a.m., wondering if they have a problem, what would you tell them?
Well, if you're wondering if you have a problem, you most probably do. I'm not going to
Yeah.
say you 100% do have a problem, but if you're wondering if you do, you're most likely like your soul or your spirit is telling you, or your body, because your body is very aware and conscious, is
Yeah.
telling you that you do have a problem, and just contact someone and talk about it, and don't
Yeah.
be ashamed to talk about it. Literally,
Without a
I
doubt.
keep saying that. No, no shame, no guilt. I say that
Yeah.
all the time.
I love that. I mean, that saying, I think I heard it within a month of getting sober this time, and it said, if you think you've got a problem with alcohol or drugs, then you've got a problem with alcohol or drugs. And it's so
Yes,
I,
it's
I
obvious.
just never even thought about it before, and it was like, yeah, well, if you're thinking that you've got a problem, then you probably do have a problem. That's it.
Of
Simple.
course, of
Do something
course.
about it
Yeah.
because no one else is going to do anything about it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. One
Yeah.
habit.
And
One
and, and,
habit.
and the good thing is nowadays.
Go on.
No, go ahead.
It was just the next question, but finish off what you were saying there, man.
No, I was going to say the good thing about the internet, because there's not only good things,
Yeah.
but the good thing about the internet is I didn't have that when I got sober. You
Yeah.
can like just create an account, without a picture, without any infos, put in a fake name, call yourself Donald Trump. I mean,
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
and just, I mean, if someone speaks to you, if it's you, me, Gary, I mean, there's so many people, cool people doing this,
Yeah.
and just hit them up. I mean, I always say, don't be afraid. I don't want to know your name, where you're from. You can just do it anonymously, and that is fine,
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the power. Like I remember I was like, social media gets a bit of a bad rap because it's, it can be addictive for the youngsters and all that. I've got 3 stepkids and I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, they're on stuff and all that. But for me,
yeah,
it's been an absolute life changer. Do you know what I mean? Because I was with a friend and we were both outside and we were both looking at our phones, and he was on his Instagram and I was on mine. And you know that section that comes up with things that you're interested in. Mine was all about
Yeah.
recovery stuff. Mine was all about recovery stuff.
Yes.
His was all about drum and bass, and we were like, we've got good
Yeah.
algorithms, man. We're doing all right, you know,
Yeah.
because some people are getting horrible, horrendous stuff, and it's like, but whatever you put out into the universe, you get back. So it's kind of,
Of
you know,
course.
swings and roundabouts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine's the same. I get like 10 recovery videos
Yeah.
and then like a dog meme because I love dogs.
Well, mine are cats, but you know, that's kind of by
Yeah.
the by, isn't it? Yeah. I do
Yeah.
get a lot of people throwing themselves off of big bungee jumps and all that. And I'm not into that, but I seem to get those
Yeah.
in my algorithm. So it's like, you know, they're safe.
Yeah.
They've got ropes and stuff. But anyway,
Of course.
Ashley, what one habit that keeps you steady?
My morning routine.
Yeah.
Getting up in the morning, phone is on flight mode, a gallon of hot water with lemon and salt and cayenne pepper,
Oh,
meditation, breath work, stretching, focusing for half an hour, and then I start my day.
I like that. I love that. Yeah, that's it. I'm very, you know, meditation for me is on my way to work, you know, driving. And I know people are like, what, you
Yeah,
meditate like that? But I don't have any sounds
of
on or
course.
anything like that. And I'm just thinking, I'm
Yeah,
focused. And that's my morning meditation.
yeah.
A podcast, film, or a book about recovery or hope. One or all three. I mean, you mentioned Eckhart Tolle before, so
Yeah. So,
yeah,
so Eckhart Tolle, definitely,
yeah, yeah,
definitely. So,
cool.
what was it? A podcast, a book,
Podcast, film,
or
or a book. Um,
uh, a film? It's not really about sobriety. It's about how not to be if you want to get into sobriety. Is
go on.
Leaving Las Vegas with Nicolas
Yeah.
Cage
Do you know what? I meant to
because
tell you
he's
earlier.
wasted all the time.
It's a horrible, horrible film. I watched it when it came out. I think it was like 97, 98, and I haven't watched it since. And I definitely haven't watched it
Yeah.
since getting sober. But what I was going to say was there's a film, you'll love this. It's no, what is a film? They did a film and then they did a series. So they did a short film first, which I think was like
Yeah.
20, 30 minutes, where the one shot, it's just one shot, one take. Like all the actors know their marks and they get through. It's called Boiling Point, and it's got Stephen Graham in it. I'll send you a link because
Never had. Okay.
it's a great film.
Yeah.
Like it's an hour and a half about. He's a hedge. Well, he is a chef, but he's actually just the restaurant manager now. And it's this evening where
Yeah.
he's in the back office. He's drinking. He's sniffing. But the whole film
Yeah.
is shot one camera,
Yeah.
one take. Everyone knows their mark. They did like I think they did
Oh
three
wow.
rehearsals. They did three rehearsals, run throughs. They recorded all
Yeah.
three, and the second one was the one that they kept. And it's such a good film. It's poignant because it's about recovery and what can happen, but just the way it's shot is just
Yeah.
beautiful. Yeah, yeah. Um, Ashley,
Okay. Cool.
one
Yeah.
word.
Send me that link. I'd love to see it. Yeah.
I'll put it in this and I'll send you it straight after as well. So I believe they did a TV series as well. It's on BBC
Yeah.
iPlayer, so it's called Boiling Point, the series. So I think it's the same kind of premise as
Cool.
well.
Very cool.
Um,
Nice. Yeah.
One word that describes your life now, Ashley.
Fulfilling. Fulfilled. Yeah.
Fulfilled, fulfilling. I love it. I love it. Yeah. And so, what does the future hold for you, man? What does tomorrow and the rest of the week look like for you?
Well, I've learned to trust what the universe has for me. I mean, I'm putting in my work. I want to grow my addiction counseling and sober coaching business a bit more. That is my main focus at the moment.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm pushing for. I mean, I'm pushing for it not in terms of, oh, I get up in the morning, I want to be a sober coach because I want to earn a shitload of money, because that's the wrong
Mhm.
energy.
Of course,
It's the
of course.
energy you put into something. I want to do it because I want to reach more people, because
Yeah.
I want to make it clear to people how simple it can be. And I'm offering them a very simple way. Like, I've put together containers to help people. It involves a lot of spirituality, science based, psychology. And I've just molded it all into my own, I don't give a fuck rock style thing.
Yeah,
And
man.
that's opened a lot of people's eyes.
Yeah, yeah,
And then, I mean, if anyone wants any advice, hit me up. I have so many people DMing me on Instagram. And I'm
yeah.
not like, you can only DM me if you want to book a container. No, if you have
No,
questions, I mean, I
questions,
do that,
advice. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
always,
And
always.
I'll put all of your details in the show notes, and I'm sure
Yeah.
you're just going to strive and do amazing things, because that's what it's all about. It's about helping other people, because if we can do it,
Yes,
then others can do it too. You know what I mean? Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Ashley, thank you so much for your time today. It's just been an absolute pleasure getting to know you,
It
listening to your
has.
story. Yeah. And
Thank you.
I appreciate your sobriety, man. So just keep trudging, keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, and thanks
Yeah.
for having me, Jim. Like I said, I was really looking forward to it, and it was even better than I imagined. It was just such a cool
Ah,
talk with you. And,
yeah. I've
you know,
loved it, man. It's been like two old, long haired, rocking
yeah,
hippies, like
yeah,
having a chat about the debauched times. So yeah, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Appreciate it. Right.
And I must say, I've been watching your podcast for a while and your posts and everything, and I like your take on it. You know, you're very in your face, a slight touch of sarcasm. You're funny, and that's what I love. I mean, I love it really.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. Well, I'll just keep doing them, mate. I'll keep doing them. Yeah.
Of course, you have to. You have to.
Have to. Have to. Yeah. You take it easy, man. Take care.
You
Bye
too,
bye.
and we'll chat soon.
Chat soon, buddy. Bye bye.
All right, take care, Jimmy.
Thank you, Ashley. What a conversation. What a guy. The thing that struck me is what he said about the people who offer him a drink or drugs the moment they meet him because of how he looks. They've completely got him backwards. The guy with the face tattoos and the death metal t-shirts is 17 years sober and building a business, helping other people find their own way out. You can't always tell from the outside. Actually, you can almost never tell from the outside, so don't judge. I also love what he said about the labeling. He stopped calling himself an alcoholic, not because he thinks he can drink again. He absolutely can't, and he knows that. But because actively labeling yourself as a sick person for the rest of your life doesn't feel like recovery to him. It feels like staying stuck. And I think there are a lot of people who hear that and quietly exhale. Ashley, thank you so much for coming on, mate. You're one of a kind, and 17 years is extraordinary. So well done on that. And the fact that you've turned it all into something that helps other people is everything. You're doing an amazing job. Go and find Ashley at Ashley_Baker_sober coach on Instagram. All the links are in the show notes. Go say hello. As always, guys, take care of yourselves. It's weird as fuck out there. Stay safe, stay sober, stay supportive. Thank you for listening right to the end, and I'll see you next week. Love you all. Bye bye.